Imagine you're standing in your driveway and you take a stack of $100 bills. You pull out a lighter, flick the flame, and watch them turn into gray ash right in front of your eyes. You'd think that's insane, right? You'd think only a crazy person would burn $3,000 a year just to smell the smoke. But here's the cold, hard truth. That is exactly what you're doing every single time you sign a lease or a finance agreement for a brand new car. You aren't buying reliability. You aren't buying status. You are buying a high-interest anchor that is dragging your net worth to the bottom of the ocean. While you're worrying about whether the guy at the Starbucks drive-thru likes your new rims, your bank is laughing all the way to their quarterly profit report. They love you. You're their favorite kind of victim, the one who pays for the privilege of losing money. My name is Lance, and I spend way too much time thinking about the invisible math of car ownership. If you're someone who feels like you're working a 40-hour week just to pay for the metal box that sits in your driveway 22 hours a day, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Look, let's be real for a second. We've been conditioned to believe that a car payment is just a fact of life, like taxes or the inevitable disappointment of a fast food burger. We're told that as soon as you get a promotion, you upgrade the car. As soon as the lease is up, you get a newer model with a slightly bigger screen and 3 more cup holders you'll never use. But this cycle, it's the #1 reason why the middle class is slowly vanishing into a cloud of exhaust fumes. Today, I want to talk about the $500 car rule. Now, look, I know what you're thinking. Lance, you can't buy a working car for $500 anymore. For $500 today, you get a bicycle with a missing seat and a polite good luck from the seller. And you're right, but the $500 car rule isn't a price tag, it's a mindset. It's the decision to drive a car that costs you less than $500 a month in total ownership. That's depreciation, insurance, gas, and maintenance combined. Because here's the thing, being cheap with your car is the only way most people will ever become truly disgustingly rich. Let's look at the statistics that the car industry spends billions of dollars to keep you from seeing. The average new car in the US loses about 20% of its value in the first 12 months. If you buy a $45,000 SUV because it makes you feel like a boss, you just burned $9,000 the moment you drove it off the lot. That's $750 a month in pure depreciation. You haven't even paid for the premium gas it requires or the insurance premium that went up because you now own a theft magnet. You've already lost more money than most people save in an entire year. And for what?
So you can have a new car scent that's actually just the smell of off-gassing plastic and regret? Now, compare that to what I call the boring car strategy. Let's take a 10-year-old Toyota Corolla or a Honda Civic. It's not sexy, it doesn't have a giant touchscreen that tracks your every move. It's probably a shade of beige that can only be described as retired accountant. But its depreciation curve is as flat as a pancake. You could buy it for $9,000, drive it for 2 years, and sell it for $8,000.
Your cost of ownership was approximately $40 per month.
This is where it gets really interesting and where most people's brains start to short circuit. Let's do the wealth gap math. If you take the $730 a month, which is now the average payment in America, and instead of giving it to a dealership, you invest it into a boring S&P 500 index fund starting at age 25, by the time you're 65, that one decision, just that one choice to drive cheap cars, results in a retirement nest egg of over $5 million. $5 million. Think about that the next time you see a 0% down advertisement. They aren't offering you a deal. They are asking you to trade your future private island for a heated steering wheel and a vibrating seat that massages your back while you're stuck on I-95. Is a massage from a car really worth $5 million? Unless that seat also does your taxes and raises your children, the answer is no. Now, you might be thinking, but Lance, old cars are dangerous. They break down. I can't have my car dying on me while I'm on my way to a meeting. Look, that is the most successful marketing lie ever told. It's right up there with diamonds are rare and low-fat yogurt is healthy. Modern cars are over-engineered. They are built to last 200,000 to 300,000 miles if you just change the oil once in a while. People act like a $1,000 repair once a year is a financial catastrophe. But let's use our big boy brains for a second. $1,000 a year is $83 a month. Compare that to your $730 car payment. Even if your beater car explodes and needs a new engine every single year, you are still saving over $7,000 annually compared to the guy with the shiny new truck. Math doesn't have feelings, and it definitely doesn't care about your ego. The math says you are being robbed in broad light, and you're thanking the thief for the great financing rate. The psychological trap here is social signaling. We've been programmed to think our car is an extension of our personality. If you drive a 2012 Camry, society thinks you're struggling. If you drive a 2026 Range Rover, society thinks you've made it. But in the financial world, it's often the exact opposite. The guy in the Range Rover is usually stressed, drowning in debt, and one bad Tuesday away from a heart attack. The guy in the Camry?
He's got $400,000 in a brokerage account and hasn't felt financial stress since the Obama administration. Truly wealthy people, the ones with the $5 million net worths, don't care about signaling. They care about freedom. They know that a car is just a tool to get from point A to point B. Every dollar spent on a car beyond basic safety and utility is a dollar stolen from your fortress. And look, I'm not saying you have to drive a car with a hole in the floorboard. I'm saying you need to stop buying cars to impress people you don't even like. Here's what most people don't realize. Your car is the largest silent wealth killer in your budget because it's a recurring massive expense that we've been taught to accept as normal. It's not normal. It's a tragedy. It's a transfer of wealth from your pocket to the pockets of bank executives. Now, you'll hear people say, but Lance, I need the latest safety features for my kids. Look, I love kids too, but a 2018 Volvo is just as safe as a 2026 Volvo, and it costs about $40,000 less. Don't use your family as an excuse to satisfy your own vanity. Your kids would much rather have a paid-off college education and a stable home than a car with 16 cameras that they'll probably spill juice on anyway. If you want to actually get ahead, here is the plan. It's simple, but it's not easy because your ego is going to scream the whole time. Step 1. Stop the bleeding. If you have a car payment that makes you wince every time the auto pay hits your account, sell the car. Sell it today. If you're underwater, pay the difference and consider it a stupid tax that you'll never pay again. Buy a reliable, used, boring car. Step 2. Start the ghost payment. Take that money you were giving to the bank and pay it to yourself. Put it in a high-yield savings account until you have a repair fund, then dump the rest into investments. Step 3. Kill your ego. Accept that for a few years you might not be the coolest person at the red light. But while everyone else is working until they're 70 to pay for their SUVs, you'll be sitting on a beach because your cheap car bought you 10 years of early retirement. Look, the world is designed to keep you broke. The system wants you in debt because debt-ridden people are easy to control. They don't quit jobs they hate, they don't start businesses, they just keep rowing the boat for someone else. When you own your car outright and it's a cheap car, you have the power to say no. Being cheap with your car isn't about being a miser, it's about being a strategist. It's about buying your freedom 1 mile at a time. If you're ready to stop burning your wealth in a gas tank and start building your fortress, type fortress in the comments below. I want to know who is actually brave enough to drive the boring car to live the legendary life. Hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and stop letting your car drive you into a financial grave. I'm Lance, and I'll see you in the next video.